Good morning, women helping women. Gotta love that. I'm clinical hypnotherapist Melanie McCool, and this morning we are going to be working on mastering your mindset to end procrastination. We're going to call this Monday morning mindset reset, right? We're going to work on reigniting your entrepreneurial fire. Now, I first have to ask, how are you doing? Like, be honest with me. Let me know how you're feeling on this Monday morning. If you're feeling fired up, excellent. Drop me a comment. Let me know you're fired up. If you're instead feeling like you still have a foot on the brake, or you've got, you're kind of on the back foot, be honest and let me know that too. And know that you're not alone. The entire world seems to be in this state of doesn't what do I do next? Unable to trust their own, well, entrepreneurial instinct, really. So if that's you, let me know. Drop in a comment. And let me know where you're coming from, because I just said it's Monday morning, but you could be anywhere in the world. So where are you? Tell me where you're coming here from, where you're tuning in from, what time it is, and how you're feeling on this glorious Monday morning. Today marks the new moon in Sagittarius, that. And I happen to be a Sag, bright and optimistic in general, but I wasn't always that way. So when I ask how you're doing, it's because, well, a bit of my story, a bit of an introduction, if that's okay, here for my first live in the group. I have been in business for more than 20 years. And I say that I had no business being in business when I began. Essentially, I was a hippie organic farmer. But I was absolutely determined to raise my own children, to be a work at home mom. And so, more than 20 years ago now, I started a home based business, an online home based business. I became a top 1% earner in network marketing. I have sold all kinds of things online, though, I'll tell you. And so essentially, I became a sales and marketing coach and a consultant. You might even have met me as the LinkedIn leads lady. Maybe. And if you did, drop that. Say, oh, I recognize you. You had a different name then. Yes, I did have a different name then. I'm happily divorced as well. Lots and lots of changes here over the last few years. And that's actually what I'm here to talk to you about. Because yes, as a top 1% earner, I was absolutely a miserable millionaire. I was overworked. I was, and I would essentially, I burnt out, literally did burn out. I burnt out half my thyroid. I had adrenal fatigue, and I killed half my thyroid with something they call hyperthyroidism. And the very same strategies, ways that I not only turned that, supposedly, I never want to use the word incurable, because as a hypnotherapist, that's absolutely outside of my belief system. But people would have said that. And without ever using any medication or anything at all, I've actually, as they would say, put it in remission. And those very same ways that I did that are what I'm going to talk to you about today. Because essentially, what I was experiencing was a stress disorder. And in the insane world, nothing less, that we've been just, crushed under here for the last year, you may have felt some of the symptoms of this overwhelming stress. And one of them, just one, is procrastination. And so, the very same methods that I used to overcome an autoimmune condition, burnout, to bring my health back from the brink, and to bring my genius entrepreneurial mind back on board, which is what I'm here to help you with. Those very same methods can help you now to not only end procrastination, but absolutely tap back into your own creative genius, which is what is required for you to make those necessary changes to have an incredible 2021. And I actually have a group here on Facebook. It's called Program for Prosperity. And in there, I have worked through these methods and the things that I've used myself, and I give them to you. And I do invite you to be part of my free group here on Facebook. If you'd like to, just drop the word invite in the comments here and I'll get that to you. That's easy enough. And as you do, join that group, find yourself in a completely different environment than the normal push, force, hustle, overwork. And instead you find yourself in an environment with people who work in flow, that have this understanding and trust in their own inner intuition about what the next right step is for their business. Is exactly what we're doing in there. And in fact, coming up here at 11, I'm going to be doing a very special hypnotic experience that is specifically because there'll be that new moon in Sagittarius and a solar eclipse happening at 11:16. So I figured we ought to harness some of that incredible manifesting energy, eh? What do you say? All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you may have been experiencing as a result of this crazy, they call it uncertainty. They call it, there is really no words to describe what we've been experiencing. And so what I want you to understand is that if you are procrastinating, right, this absolutely isn't a character defect. Okay, it's not just your personality. And it's absolutely not an indication that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Understanding that as entrepreneurs, we literally there's only about 3% of the population that are anything like us. So yeah, we're definitely weird. You celebrate your weird, right? But that's all the more reason for you to know that this is something that you can essentially cure. You can cure this yourself. And so this procrastination response is a very, very normal, natural, and unfortunately incredibly widespread right now. And so if you don't already have a cup of tea, I invite you to grab a cup of tea, take a nice deep breath with me, and know that the worst is behind you. Okay? And if you stick around here till the end, you'll also learn how you can have a wonderful hypnotic experience that will help you to reignite that entrepreneurial fire in a way that goes far beyond anything that you could do with your conscious mind. When you get your subconscious on board to work for you, everything gets so much easier. And so if you'd like to wake up on Mondays enthusiastic, not just Monday, but every day, enthusiastic to work on what you get to create, then you want to stick around. So understanding that procrastination is actually a stress response, and that stress could come from the environment, like literally, a toxic environment, toxic relationships, pressures from work, uncertainty, right? And most of the time, though, there's not actually a tiger under your bed. It's in your mind. And so most of the stress that we experience now is worry, anxiety, right? And essentially it's thinking about all the what ifs that haven't even happened yet. And I'd like to encourage you right now to be strong, to use the methods that I've used to, get rid of a stress disorder so that you can be strong now. Because when that tiger actually does show up, You've got to have all of your resources ready to rock and roll, right? So, and I'll actually add the stress of chronic health conditions, right? If you've got a chronic health condition, you can drop that in the comments. Understanding, I'm also a medical hypnotherapist, so do drop that in there and let me know. Let me know if you have chronic health conditions that add to your stress and you think may be contributing to this procrastination. And what's procrastination look like? Well, I don't have to tell you. It would be scrolling here this morning, scrolling versus doing the tasks that you have on your list that would grow your business today, right? Or maybe it's binge watching anything, right? Avoiding sitting down to work at all, or having all of that busy work, right? Busy work that doesn't actually, there's no, it doesn't bring you money, right? It's literally just so busy that you can't get to the things that actually are going to be the revenue generating activities. You might also find yourself playing the comparison game, right? And this is it is such a painful pitfall. And so knowing that these things that you're doing are, well, they're common, they're what most people do. When it's a stressful time such as we've been experiencing. Unfortunately, though, this begins as a stress response and then it exasperates itself, right? So you may feel that you're not as far along as you should be, right? And so if that's you, drop that, say, I should be further along. I feel like I should, right? You may have guilt and shame, right? For spending time and money away from your family, completely frustrated. How about imposter syndrome, right? How many certifications, classes, courses, trainings, what more do you need to do to get out there and make money? My guess is that you don't need to take in any more information. It's time to apply, right? But you may feel that you have lost control over your time. And worse, you may feel burnt out. And on the far end of the extreme of this stress, essentially becomes a stress disorder. You may have insomnia, anxiety, autoimmune conditions. Autoimmune is it's a first world problem, my friend. It is based on the hustle, work, overwork, stress, and it is absolutely because we, as a society, we don't use the very methods I'm going to be walking through here, I'm going to touch on today, that you can get more of in my group, that will actually help you to reverse the stress so that you can sleep, so that you don't worry, so that autoimmune can regress, or whatever they want to call it. You can get your weight under control. You can, stop leaning on alcohol or drugs or sugar, right? And you can take the time to take care of yourself. Because if you don't, you'll just get more of the same, and actually it can end up very, very much worse. Don't let stress and a stress disorder take you out of the game the way that it took me out of the game. Okay, use these methods now. Because, so many people in this situation of feeling this procrastination will feel like they just need to hire another coach. Maybe a hypnotherapist, but not another coach that's going to tell you more things to do and give you more checklists. Okay? You certainly don't need to attend another training. There's not something else that you need to know so that you can be good enough, my friend. What you need to do is calm your ass down. Get into a state of restore and renew, and let your brilliant genius mind come back on board to work for you. Because how many courses do you have undone still? Procrastinate much? Yeah, bring the stress down, and you may actually find that all of those things get done and applied. Or what else do people do? You're going to commiserate. Commiserate with others who are who feel the same. Doesn't help. What you focus on expands. What you need is to be surrounded with people that are going to remind you to lift yourself up and will lift you up. So, another option that you have is to quit. But I don't think you're a quitter. Or you certainly wouldn't still be listening to me. You wouldn't be in this group, right? You wouldn't be looking to reignite your entrepreneurial fire. No. You'd be off, I don't know, doing anything but listening to something that could actually change your life, right? So what's actually going on is that you've got the stress response going on, and your body mind, right, it essentially is in this fight or flight. And as such, you only have so much energy to direct to anything. And so your primitive mind is running the show. And your primitive mind can't consider the future in a hopeful, optimistic way. Instead, it's in a scarcity, lack, fear, and it's a contracted way of being, right? And from here, that's where that put the foot on the brake comes in. So before we even go any further, you may have gotten that cup of tea and taken a deep breath, but let's do a little practice here that can help you to open your mind just a little bit more. And as we end here in just a couple of minutes, I will be doing a deeper relaxation for you. But just put one hand on this genius, brilliant human mind of yours right here, and one on the back. And take 3 slow, deep breaths, expanding your lungs. 2. Just think the word relax. And 3. And just doing that, you've let your body know that you are safe. When your mind knows that you're safe, it can actually give energy to your prefrontal cortex, to your genius creative mind, the part of you that can see a hope and optimism for the future and can make plans for a prosperous future versus being in scarcity, lack, and fear over here in stress. So bringing that incredible mind of yours back on board is number 1. You got to teach that mind that you are safe. And you are safe. If you're watching me right now, you're certainly safe. So as we go forward here into a new year, I'm going to invite you to leave the burdens and the stress of 2020 behind so that you can step into 2021 in a completely different way. In a way that is anti-fragile. And you may be resilient. You may know you're a resilient human. In fact, you may have grown up with capital T, trauma. And if that's you, just drop the word trauma here in the comments for me. It's safe. So you may know that you're resilient, but you may be feeling less than resilient. And so giving you this practice to help your mind know that you're safe is step 1. It's step 1. And without it, the rest of the steps that I would give you to master your mindset, to reignite your entrepreneurial fire, they can't take hold in a stressed out, fight or flight, fear, lack, anxiety, worrying mind. And so, before I even go any further, to invite you to be part of the group and to give you a recording that will just gloriously bless you, helping you to make more money, in fact. If you'd like to make more money, if you're like a hypnotist, to tell your brilliant genius subconscious mind of yours that more money is what you want, why don't you drop me a emoji, drop me some dollars, dollar bills, or some pounds, wherever you are on the planet, drop it. As you do, knowing that this mind of yours, it will work for you. It'll work for you in ways that you probably can't even fathom right now. And I don't want you to get too excited about your future when you get programmed for prosperity, but understanding that there is a better way to make a whole lot more money without a whole lot more work. That there is a genius that is you that you can access through these processes. And it all begins with letting your mind and your body know that you're safe. And so, you know, whether you're excited to get some work done today or you really could just use a dose of peace right now. Awesome. Oh, the comments all showed up like way, way, way down the line. Glad you're here. Glad to know you're here. If you use a dose of peace today, then I'm going to invite you to take part here in something that I do for my clients that are part of my program for prosperity group. And we're going to connect here across time and space. And even if you're watching this as a replay, and you can drop the replay word if you do, knowing that what we're about to do here actually connects us all in time and space. And so we're going to do a little practice here just as I'm wrapping up because I'm getting near to my end of my time here. We're going to do a little practice here that we're going to bless one another's intentions for this week. Okay, so this can not only let your body and mind know that you're safe, give you a dose of just incredibly happy hormones, neurotransmitters that'll change your chemistry, biochemistry for the better today. But we're also going to send some love here across the world, and we could all use that, couldn't we? What the world needs now is a little love. All right, so just sitting with your arms and legs uncrossed, your feet flat on the floor. Only close your eyes as quickly as you're ready to go deeply into trance now, if you'd like to relax, or you could do this with your eyes open. It's totally up to you. You can just allow yourself to relax, and you may want to put one hand on your heart and one hand right over your belly, and taking some long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Expanding your ribs with this one. Breathing in, stretching the ribs, and letting that go slowly as those beautiful neurotransmitters, the biochemistry of peace, begins to take over your body. And right now, I'd like for you to bring that attention of yours to that beautiful heart. Breathing in and breathing out through the center of your chest. Knowing that what you're doing for yourself right now is an act of pure love. And feeling that love now in that heart of yours. Breathing in and breathing out. You may begin to feel now that you're more relaxed. As your breathing slows, you relax. As you relax, your breathing slows. You just allow that relaxation to grow as you breathe in through that heart and breathe out. And as you now bring up an emotion, a beautiful, heartfelt, loving emotion, you may think of the people you love, the people who love you. As you see those faces, as you feel that love, every negative thought leaves your body and your mind, replaced by this feeling of bliss, of peace that grows now. Breathing in and breathing out. And imagining now, using your glorious imagination, As you feel that love within your heart, as you feel it now extending from your body, just breathe in and breathe out, and imagine it extends outside of your skin into the room you're in. That's right. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you can imagine it extends beyond the building that your body is in now. That your energy expands. Breathing in, breathing out now beyond the planet. That's right. Reaching out this love of yours into the infinite. Feeling that expansion now. Breathe in, breathe out, and feel good. Just allowing this feeling of love beyond you. Imagining now that that love of yours is like a golden light, a ring that is connected with each and every woman here in this group. Breathe in, breathe out, and send that love out to each and every woman here, and everyone that would watch at any time. Breathe in, breathe out as you send your love, as you send your intentions, that their intention be blessed, that their intentions would be blessed beyond measure. All of this or something better, sending your love now out to bless others. So good. And now as you take a deep inhale, you can imagine that that heart of yours, that there's a window. And as you throw that window wide open, taking a deep breath in, as you exhale, all of that love comes rushing back to you to fill your heart, to fill your body, to fill your mind. All of that loving intentions coming back to you. All of the love you've ever given. Every bit of it. Rushing back, and open the heart. Open the window wider now. Allow it in. Allow it in. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that now. All of your intentions blessed. And love. All of this or something better. That's right. And just feeling that in every single cell of your body, beyond your body, stretching out beyond time and space. You are an infinite being, full of love, full of light. And you can take this with you into your day. And as you consider whatever your next right step is from this place, just saying, what's my next right step? You can take a deep breath. Bring your awareness back into the space that you're in. You may wiggle your toes and fingers. Come back. Feeling so good, and this feeling will stay with you long after the session ends. And I would ask for your, give us a little feedback. How was that for you? How do you feel now? Do your problems seem a lot smaller now that you know you're an infinite being full of love and light, being blessed beyond measure with all the love that's here? All right, I've got 30 seconds. What I'd like to do is give you a gift to ignite your entrepreneurial fire. So a hypnotic experience, a free download. And all I'm going to ask is that you drop a fire emoji down here, and I will get you that Entrepreneurial FIRE Hypnosis. And I do invite you to be part of Program for Prosperity, where you have lots more experiences just like this, including one happening at 11:15 today. And with that, I've got to shut down because I'm going over time. Blessings. Melanie McCool here, clinical hypnotherapist. I look forward to seeing you in my group for more like this.